I am Anakin Skywalker, clad in the armor that once marked my descent into darkness. This suit, forged in fires of my hatred and suffering, no longer binds me to the shadow, but serves as a testament to what I have now become. I am a Jedi, a warrior of the light, yet no longer a servant to its dogma, nor am I Sith, who seek power without understanding its cost. I walk the line between the light and the dark, a student of the Force in its entirety, neither constrained nor corrupted. I am broken, yes, but in my breaking I have been remade. Each scar, each failure, has tempered me into something new, something stronger. The Force flows through me in balance, its currents unchained by fear and anger, free to guide me as both a sword and shield. I am no one's master, but carry the wisdom of my mistakes and the clarity of my redemption. I am the sword of the Jedi, forged by fire, reforged by light. The galaxy feels different now, more vivid, more alive. The dark whispers of my past no longer hold power over me, but they remain a shadow at my side, a reminder of what I was and what I must never become again. I see the mistakes of the Jedi and the Sith alike, their pride, their blindness, their need for absolutes. Balance is the only truth. It is neither peace nor chaos, but the harmony of the storm. I am not here to rule, nor to lead, but only to protect, to fight for the innocent, to guide the lost, to strike down those who impose their will upon others. My strength is not in the light or the dark, but in the understanding that both are necessary. The Force has no sides, only purpose, and I am the Force's vessel. I have fallen and risen, and now I walk forward, not as the man I was, but as a warrior that I was always meant to be. The galaxy may not understand what I have now become, but I feel my presence as a shield against tyranny and a blade for the helpless. I am balance, and I am ready. Clad in the armor of his sins, but guided by clarity and redemption, Anakin Skywalker became a wandering Jedi Knight, a figure reminiscent of Qui-Gon Jinn and the Jedi Knights of old. No longer bound by the structure of the Jedi or the dark dominion of the Sith, Anakin would walk the galaxy as the Force's instrument, seeking to heal where once he had brought destruction. Anakin would carry with him the weight of his past, every life lost, every scar left on the galaxy, but he would not allow that weight to paralyze him. Forgiveness he knows may never come. Forgiveness is not his to seek. Instead, his redemption lies in action, in wielding the Force as a protector of the innocent, as a student of the galaxy's infinite wisdom. Like Qui-Gon Jinn, he would embrace the living Force, with Anakin moving where it called him, guiding his needs for the moment rather than the rigid doctrine of any institution, Jedi or Sith. This is the calling of the Chosen One. Skywalker's journey would be one of quiet service and personal reflection, a far cry from the grandiose battles and conquests that defined his life as both a Jedi and as Lord Vader. His path would take him to forgotten worlds, shattered communities, and places untouched by conflicts of galactic powers. He would seek out the broken, the lost, the oppressed, offering his strength as a shield and his wisdom to guide. In these travels, Anakin would not only protect, but learn, becoming a student of the galaxy's cultures, traditions, and Force users beyond, growing beyond the power of any Jedi or Sith. His presence would be a paradox, a harbinger of hope in the menacing silhouette of Darth Vader's armor. Though his past would cast a large shadow, Anakin would move forward with purpose, not seeking absolution, but striving to bring balance to a galaxy still healing from his mistake. Anakin has become the embodiment of the Jedi's truest ideals, a guardian of peace and justice foremost, untethered by pride, untethered by ambition, driven only by the Force. Anakin, encased in the ominous armor, would embark on a deeply personal journey across the galaxy, seeking out those who had fallen to the dark side, no longer the destroyer that he once was. Anakin would utilize his unparalleled understanding of the Force, light and dark together, to offer redemption to others who have lost their way. Vader's path to balance, forged through suffering and ultimate clarity, would become the foundation of this mission. With peace now found within himself, his identity as Anakin and Vader reconciled into a single harmonious whole, he would walk the galaxy as an instrument of the Force's will. Where once he sowed chaos and destruction, he would bring now healing and hope. His unique perspective as both Vader and a redeemed Jedi would grant Anakin insight into the very nature of the dark side. His time wielding what he believed was unlimited power, now tempered by his rediscovery of the light, allowing him to understand the struggles of those who have now fallen. Anakin would recognize their pain, their anger, the lies told to them to justify their descent, for he had lived through them all. Yet his mastery of balance would be a guiding hand rather than a judge, helping those conquer their own inner darkness as his son helped him. His skills, honed as Vader in relentless combat, now wielded with restraint and compassion, would allow him to subdue those who resisted without hatred or vengeance. The same power that once made him the galaxy's greatest threat would only make him now its most powerful servant and protector. Ironically enough, Anakin would remain the greatest warrior the galaxy had ever seen, but a warrior who sought out no war. The lightsaber he once wielded to enforce terror and dominion is now used only as a last resort, to protect the innocent and those who cannot protect themselves. Anakin's greatest weapon, though, is not in his strength, but in his words and in his presence. The sight of Vader's armor, once a symbol of fear, now repurposed into a vessel of redemption, would carry immense weight. Those who knew the legends of Lord Vader would see the shadow of the past, but they would also witness the light of what he has become. Anakin's humility born from guilt and redemption would define him not only as a controller of others, but as a humble agent of the Force's will. Luke Skywalker, initially hesitant, would understand his father's larger mission. Luke would likely try to persuade Anakin to remain at his side, to help him rebuild the Jedi, guide a new generation of Force wielders, offering new insight into true balance. Yet Anakin, bound by an oath to the Force itself, and a sense of duty to atone for his past, would choose to walk his path alone. He would recognize that his path was not one of leadership, but of action, a direct intervention where the Force called him most. Luke, pained by the separation, would come to accept his father's journey was necessary and correct, a continuation of the balance that Anakin was destined to bring. In his travels, Anakin would learn to transcend his physical injuries in a way that once seemed impossible. No longer bound by anger and fear that fed her survival as Darth Vader, Anakin would come to understand the truth of the Force, that he was not merely crude matter, but luminous energy. With this new understanding, he would unlock the ability to move beyond his limitations, to break free from his damaged body. His armor, once a prison, would become a tool that he could wield effortlessly, and his connection to the Force would grant him abilities and powers that would make his injuries irrelevant. In this, Anakin would embody the resilience and adaptability of the Force itself, showing that even the most broken can become whole. Anakin would wield ultimate power, but not as a controller or a ruler. He would see himself as a humble servant, an agent of balance tasked with restoring harmony to a galaxy scarred by his own actions. His power, though immense, would be used sparingly and only for the greater good. Anakin's journey would not be about conquest or dominion, but rather a greater story of redemption, a story of his own redemption and others. Each life he saved, each Darksider he redeemed, he would take a step towards healing the galaxy. In the end, Anakin, the once great destroyer, would become the galaxy's greatest hope, a wandering knight whose legacy would redefine what it means to wield the Force. As a pure instrument of the Force's will, Anakin moves through the galaxy as a figure of unmatched power and singular purpose. The greatest Jedi and Sith killer in history, he is now a humble servant of the Force's will, carrying nothing but a deep desire to do good. If the Force called him back to Tatooine to live out his days as a simple farmer, he would obey without hesitation. Yet, within the currents of the Force, Anakin senses a deeper calling, a greater threat stirring beyond the reaches of the known galaxy. It is no Sith Lord, no Jedi, no agent of purely light or dark, but it is something far older, more dangerous, a presence of pure imbalance that threatens the Force itself. The entity, unbound by the dichotomy of the light or dark, represents a force of chaos that even the ancient Jedi and Sith cannot comprehend with their vast knowledge. Anakin can feel its presence, distant but growing, a tremor in the Force that shakes him to his core. It is not merely a challenge to balance, though. It is a threat to existence, a force that can unravel the delicate harmony that Anakin has now sought to restore. As the redeemed warrior of balance, the sword of light, and the vengeful angel of the Force's will, Anakin Skywalker prepares himself for what is to come. His time as a farmer, a wanderer, or a teacher will wait. His mission now is to stand as the Force's chosen defender, to confront this entity and ensure that the balance that he represents will endure. Anakin knows that this battle will not be like those that he fought as a Jedi or Sith. It will demand more than lightsaber skill or even raw power. It will require a profound understanding of the Force in its entirety. Every lesson Anakin has learned, every atrocity Vader has committed, every step of his redemption has prepared him for this moment. The Force did not redeem him to idle or to serve any side. it shaped him into its ultimate agent, a warrior who transcends the limitations of light or dark to rise up and be whatever the galaxy needs. With humility of a servant and the strength of a champion, Anakin Skywalker moves forward, ready to face the unknown and fulfill the purpose of the Chosen One. But anyway, my friends, that is what I believe would happen to Anakin Skywalker, and where the Force would call his journey if he survived the events of Return of the Jedi. I believe he would become a wandering warrior for the light, a samurai, a watchman, an individual that seeks out those who all others believe are beyond redemption. This is Anakin Skywalker. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And what do you think the journey of Anakin Skywalker would be if he survived Return of the Jedi? Do you believe that he would have ultimately joined with Luke Skywalker and help him reconstruct a new Jedi Order? Or would he become a wandering sword, an agent of balance to stand against all agents of imbalance and darkness? Would Anakin seek to fulfill his destiny as a pure agent of the Force, breaking away from the Jedi dogma and becoming what Qui-Gon Jinn always believed he was capable of? Or do you see a different path for Anakin, Vader moving forward? As always, my friends, I do hope you enjoyed today's Holocron entry. I hope you are having a wonderful Christmas season, and as always, may the Force be with you.